I'm pleased to announce that from the next academic year, commencing 2026, tertiary education will become 100% subsidized by the government.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, they call me Eduardo. When they say what a man can do, a woman can do even better. The president of Namibia has actually shown it. She has just announced 100% subsidized school fees for all university, technical education, secondary school, and in fact, which automatically means education is now free of charge in Namibia. If you remember vividly, Ibrahim Traore has done it before. Now this woman has taken over from there. That is why I said, and I have always said it, that if there be any person in Africa that is taking the footsteps one-on-one directly from Ibrahim Traore, it is the president of Namibia. I don't want to talk too much because this is one of the good news that actually woke me up this morning. I want you to watch this video till the end. As you are watching it, be sharing it and be commenting your opinion. She made this announcement on the month of April. So painful, I'm just getting this video. Still, watch it, share it, and comment your opinion. God bless.
I'm pleased to announce that from the next academic year, commencing 2026, tertiary education will become 100% subsidized by the government. That means no registration fees and no tuition fees at all public universities and technical and vocational education centers.
Imagine a world where every young person with a dream can walk into a university, sit in a classroom, and know, deep in their heart, that the door to their future was open not because of how much money they have, but because of who they are and the potential they carry within them. Now imagine that world starting in Africa. Imagine it starting in a country that the world rarely talks about. Imagine it starting in Namibia. Viewers, today we are witnessing history. And not the kind of history written by superpowers or billionaires. No. This is a story written by the hands of a mother, a freedom fighter, and a leader, a woman who grew up in the struggle, and who now stands at the very top of a nation, writing a new chapter for millions of young Africans. On April 24, 2025, during her very first State of the Nation address, President Netumbo Nandi-Ndaitwah, Namibia's first female president, stood before her people and the world, and announced something that has shaken the foundation of inequality and lifted the hopes of an entire generation. She said the words that many African students have cried, marched, and even died for. We have heard your cries. The fees have fallen. From 2026, no Namibian student will pay tuition or registration fees at public universities, technical schools, or vocational training centers. Education, the very thing that builds nations, will finally be free. Let that sink in. Because this isn't just a policy. It's a revolution. It's a victory for the forgotten. It's a sign that Africa is waking up, not just with words, but with action. Now I want you to picture a young girl in a small village in Namibia. She's brilliant. She dreams of becoming an engineer, a scientist, a doctor, a leader. But her parents are unemployed. Every day she walks miles to school with torn shoes, a bag held together by thread, and a stomach sometimes empty. She tops her class every term, but every time she thinks of university, a shadow falls over her hope, fees. Until now. With one declaration, President Netumbo didn't just change a policy. She changed the story. She rewrote the future. Because from 2026, that young girl will walk into a university, not as a burden on her family, not as a charity case, but as a Namibian, with full rights to dream, to build, to rise. This, my friends, is what leadership looks like. And yes, let's be real. Africa has heard many promises. We've seen leaders announce plans only to abandon them. But this moment feels different. Why? Because President Netumbo Nandi-Ndaitwah is no stranger to struggle. She was part of Namibia's liberation movement. She fought not just for land or independence, but for dignity. She understands that political freedom means nothing if a child can't afford to learn. She understands that if you want to break the cycle of poverty, you don't throw aid, you build capacity. And that begins with education. Now, I know some might ask, how will Namibia afford it? Won't this strain the economy? And the answer is, yes, it will cost money. But what is the cost of ignorance? What is the cost of crime, hopelessness, and lost potential? If Africa does not invest in her young people, who will? If our leaders keep saying education is the key, then why are they locking the door with tuition fees? Namibia is proving something powerful, that even without a $1 trillion GDP, a determined government can prioritize the people. This decision is not just about Namibia. It is about Africa as a whole. It is a challenge to every other African leader. If Namibia can do it, why can't you? Nigeria, Ghana, Kenya, South Africa, your youth are watching. Your students are demanding more than survival. They are demanding justice. And Namibia has just set the standard. To every Namibian student watching this right now, this is your moment. Your dreams are no longer held hostage by your bank account. Study like your life depends on it, because it does. You are no longer the forgotten generation. You are the foundation of a new Namibia. But we must also understand something deeper. Free education is not just a handout. It is a contract. A sacred agreement between the state and the youth. The government is saying, we believe in you. And now, the youth must say, we will not waste this chance. We need scientists, architects, nurses, historians, inventors, entrepreneurs. Not just graduates with paper degrees, but change makers with a purpose. That is how nations rise. And to President Netumbo Nandi-Ndaitwah, your leadership is a beacon. In a world where women are still fighting to be heard, you stood tall, not just as the first female president of Namibia, but as a mother to a nation. You proved that real power is not in dominance, but in service. To my dear viewer, if this video has touched you, inspired you, or given you hope, I urge you to subscribe to this channel, Africa Awakens. Because this is the kind of Africa the media does not show. This is the Africa that is rising. And we are here to tell her story. Our continent has been through hell, colonialism, exploitation, corruption. But here we are, still standing, still building, still fighting for something better. This policy, free tertiary education, is not just an economic reform. It is a spiritual shift. It tells our young people, you are not a statistic. You are not a future problem. You are the solution. And your mind, your passion, your ideas, they matter. So to the rest of Africa, let Namibia's courage shake you. Let it wake up the ministers, sleeping in comfort, while children drop out of school. Let it stir your soul and remind you that Africa doesn't need more speeches. We need decisions. Bold ones. Like this. Viewers, before you go, I want to ask you something. If you believe Africa is rising, if you believe our youth deserve a future, if you believe education should never be a luxury, click that subscribe button right now. Help us grow this platform so we can keep telling these stories, amplifying these victories, and pushing for more across the continent. Because today it's Namibia. Tomorrow, it could be your country. And it starts with awareness. It starts with unity. It starts with us. This is Africa Awakens. And trust me, we are just getting started.
That means no registration fees and no tuition fees at all public universities and technical and vocational education centers. That's why I appeal to my parents. That's why I appeal to my parents. That's why I appeal to my parents. While this will be gradual phased-in approach, your contribution as families and students for now, listen to this, for now, underline that, for now will be towards accommodation and other related costs. I'm fully aware of some people who might have difficulties, but this is the position. We heard your cry, which is, fees have fallen now. That's now a golden opportunity accorded to you by your caring government in an independent Namibia. You are therefore to maximize use this opportunity to bring out your talents, to contribute meaningfully to the development of your country and support your parents. Once you are empowered, we must support our parents. That's very, very important. The 8th administration will therefore count on your individual and collective support and contribution towards our collective agenda of nation building and development.